I added outer space into vanilla Minecraft. From leaving planet Earth, flying around in a spaceship, landing on a randomly generated moon, and much more, all made without a single mod. This video is broken up into each section of outer space, starting back on Earth. Because if you want to actually fly into outer space and hop into the ship, I added 2 required things you need to get: the escape pod and a full astronaut suit. I want to keep this first section quite short, just because there's a lot to cover in the next 2 sections, including how is all even possible in vanilla Minecraft. That means without any mods. So this entire outer space creation is all playable in survival mode. The escape pod is crafted with 5 iron blocks for the body, 2 iron ingots for the legs, and 1 redstone block to power it all. The astronaut suit is crafted all with phantom membrane, just like how you'd craft any other armor set. And like I said, I want to keep this section short. So let's now go into outer space. Now that we're done with Earth, let's slow it down and let me show you how you get around outer space. With the ship. To enter the ship, you automatically fly under and through the hatch, landing the pod inside the ship. And this ship took me so incredibly long to make. Because remember, this is all made without a single mod. And if you didn't realize yet, the spaceship is completely made out of real blocks. But then how am I able to move it around and rotate it? Wouldn't it go off the grid? Well, look at this. If I lock the camera onto the moon, it seems like the ship is flying on past. But if I lock the camera onto the ship, now it looks like the moon is flying past me. It doesn't matter if I move through space or space moves through me. It looks the same either way. So in reality, the ship is completely stationary, and whenever you press forward while in the driver's seat, you don't move forward. Space moves backwards. And since everything in space is entities, they aren't stuck to the building grid and can be moved freely around. I did all of this so you could freely build your ship out of blocks, keeping it Minecrafty, you know? I think now is a good time to mention that this video is only part 1 of 2. In part 2, I'm going to be adding an entire galaxy to explore, with a bunch of other stuff like custom mobs and structures, maybe asteroid belts and black holes. I don't really know, because I haven't made it yet. Now, this is vanilla Minecraft, so I am quite limited with what I can actually do. But I think it's pretty cool for what it is. You can't turn up or down or spin, because that would be too complicated to calculate with commands. You would have to calculate relative motion based on your current X and Y rotation, your current position, everything in space's rotation and position. I couldn't possibly be able to do it. I did it. There's a reason why this whole thing took me like 5 months to create. It was this. But it works. But now that I have movement working, some of you are most likely wondering how this is even vanilla Minecraft. Because it doesn't look vanilla. Well, this is vanilla Minecraft because it uses all built-in functionality that comes with the game. All the mechanics, like the flying ship and the escape pod, use a bunch of commands. All custom textures like the astronaut suit are in a resource pack. And the upcoming moon generation is in a data pack. Which, if you don't know, it basically allows you to store commands in a file, which is a lot more convenient than placing down command blocks. Plus it gives you more functionality, like creating dimensions like outer space, and creating new custom terrain, and a bunch of other things too. Oh, I also forgot to mention I added asteroids. Help fills the emptiness of space, for now at least. They're moving block display entities that explode on impact with anything, so make sure to keep your eye out. Asteroids also fly past you whenever you're on the moon. And speaking of the moon, I should land there soon, but I need to be within its gravitational pull to be able to exit the ship and take the escape pod. So if you look at the bottom of the screen, you can see it says within range of planet Earth. And if you look over there, sure enough, so that means I can go into the landing pod and fly into Earth. But I don't want to do that yet. So if I drive forward, you'll see in a second. Yeah, within range of none. So now if I try to go into the landing pod and take off, it says you're not within range of any landable bodies. It also has some other checks. So if I hit like yes now, it says you're not even in the pod. And there's also a check if the door's not closed. So now, if I get closer to the moon, now I'm within range of the moon, and now I can leave. Okay, one last thing to mention before I land on the moon. One problem I bumped into when creating the movement was that everything was disappearing if you went too far away, which I thought was something I would just kind of have to accept, but I found a bit of a loophole. The reason everything would disappear is because it would go outside the entity render distance, but I was able to find a way to technically keep everything right beside the ship by editing a value called a translation. Translation is a model's position within the entity. So whenever you're driving the ship, everything keeps the same position, keeping it within the entity render distance. And if you're enjoying the video so far, subscribing would be nice. Okay, so there's actually 16 different things I want to show you. And instead of just showcasing it, I'm just gonna play through it. So whenever you play, you know what you're getting into. Alright. So welcome to the moon. It's pretty cool. You can see that we already landed right beside a meteor. And they have a chance to have ancient debris inside, but it's only 50% of the time. Let's try and find a bigger one. Because the bigger they are, the more ancient debris they can have inside. You can see some smaller craters. They range. I believe there's 4 different sizes. And there's actually 4 main things I want to try and find on the moon. I want to start with the cow. You may have also noticed there's lower gravity. I don't take fall damage. Oh, here we go. Another meteor. Nice. This might be a better way of getting ancient debris than going to the nether. Just because how frequent they are. Now the main reason to explore the moon is to discover the moon cave. I'll find it in a bit, but I did find the cow. Whenever they added the new cow variants, they added functionality to create your own. So I created a cheese cow. Very epic. I'ma kill him, because he drops cheese blocks. Cheese block. It drops cheese. Oh, I forgot to bring bread. Hold on. Bread. 8. Crafting table. Because if you combine them, you get a cheese toasty. I actually made a better food than steak, because why not? Hello. Cheese blocks is actually the moon's ore. So you don't actually have to kill any cows to get it. You do have to go under the top layer in order to find some. I do need to keep my eye out for this cave entrance, because it is kind of small. It's small on purpose, because the custom item inside is quite valuable. Don't know what to say whenever I'm just looking for a cave. Another meteor. Nice. If you look upwards, you can actually see the Earth and Sun. It's a nice touch. I think it makes it feel like you're actually on the moon instead of just in a dimension. Well, you are in like a custom dimension, but it feels connected. So I showed you the cow, the cheese, smaller meteor. There is a bigger one. I would like to find it. There are phantoms and slimes. And I would also like to remind you that everything you've seen in this video is vanilla Minecraft. You know, humble brag. I would like to find a big cave. Just so I can get some more cheese blocks. And another one. And another one. Yeah! The big meteor. So inside of these, there's 3 ancient debris and 1 netherite block. It's pretty... Oh no, there's actually... It's only a chance of having a netherite block. Right here's where the netherite block would be. But it didn't spawn. Damn. Surely I'm getting closer to finding the moon cave. Oh, there's another huge meteor over there. So the main reason to find this cave is to get the custom item inside that is needed to explore the other planets in part 2. I don't want to spoil it yet, just until I get it, but I did find the entrance. Now this custom moon cave structure is broken up into 4 sections, and the final section holds the custom item for part 2. Whee! It looks so cool. Welcome to room 1. You will notice there's some hearts coming out of the water, because this is healing water. I'll stand on some magma to show you. Even the leaves and grass has a custom color. It makes it look more magical. If I go into the water, boom, healed. So this cave has 4 sections to it. It starts off nice, but if you want to get to the custom item, you need to go through the tunnel system, which isn't so friendly. This first section has strays, which aren't too hard to deal with. Whee! There we go. Very easy, but the next section definitely is not easy. I can tell you that much. Oh, they're slimes. Slimes just kind of spawn randomly, so just by chance they're down here. Like I said, not too hard, but it is something. However, this next section, well, let's just say there's a custom boss you need to fight. You can already see him. It's a big spider, and there's spider spawners. It's a bit of a boss room, although he doesn't seem to care about me. Oh, this? Okay, here we go, here we go, here we go. I don't have a shield. No! Oh, I might actually die. Please, no. Stay away. I think I'm okay. Ew, there we go. Took some convincing for him to fight me. And now I can move on to the next section. Woo! Look at this. On the wall there's glowworms. And I can even turn off my night vision because they actually glow. And they show you the way to the final room. I wonder what it could look like. Here we go. Ta-da! Very cool, very glowy. Very cool indeed, because these are cooling crystals. So the plan I have for part 2 is that these crystals will be used to craft an astronaut suit that allow you to survive in extreme heat, so you can go to planets closer to the sun. And then those planets will have warming crystals that allow you to survive in colder, further away planets. Actual game progression. There's a lot of crystals in here, so if you're playing this with friends, you probably won't run out for a while. So, from leaving planet Earth with a custom vehicle and astronaut suit, flying around outer space in a fully customizable ship that still moves even though it's made out of blocks, landing on a randomly generated moon with so many custom features, all done in vanilla Minecraft. Subscribing would mean the world to me. So now if you'll excuse me, I have to go see if I can steal a cow and take him home. Please work. Please work. Please! No!